I was
Here
gonna make
is.
a Twitter post, terrible fate, about how Christians seem more focused on arguing and bickering on what Jesus is instead of learning and sharing who Jesus is. Then I saw a post by some LCD church on how Eve eating okay, so a Mormon church, LDS, on how Eve eating the fruit was actually a good thing or something like that. So now I don't know what to do. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, you could stay off Twitter. But obviously they're wrong. Eve eating that was definitely one of probably, and again, you know, God already knew it was gonna happen, but obviously for us, it's not the best thing that happened. One of the worst things really to happen to humanity. So I don't know if all Mormons or LDS believe that. To be honest, I don't know if that's actually a core teaching of theirs, but if it is, kind of rough.
Brother, thinking Eve eating the apple was a good thing, that's just Gnosticism. That's just Gnosticism. That's not even Christianity. At that point, not that the LDS church, LCD?
LDS.
As a Christian, I'm not mad at the Jews for murdering Jesus because that's how he was able to defeat death.
Who said the fruit was an apple?
Yeah, it wasn't specified to be an apple.
It wasn't an apple, but like, it was a fig.
Imagine.
Some kind of fruit.
Yeah.
That would circle back to like when Jesus told, I forgot if it was Thomas or Philip or Nathaniel, I forgot who it was, like who was under the fig tree. That would be such a interesting turn of events. Mimiki asked us, would you both have any advice for someone who's still learning the teachings of Christ? I grew up Jewish and recently found him and want to follow him as best as I can, but I struggle in an in-person community or church due to my disability. Do you think going in-person church and getting baptized is a requirement? I sometimes worry that I won't be able to get baptized. Maria, you might be able to answer this a little better than me.
I personally don't think that water baptism is entirely necessary.
It's entirely less necessary. No, you're wrong, actually, love. It is entirely necessary.
I take the thief on the cross as the bare minimum requirements to be saved. And that man was not baptized.
It is the... are you sure about that?
I would say so. That's my personal take on it.
Well, I don't know about that, love. It's... No, I have to disagree. No, incorrect, actually. You do have to do that at some point. We're called to do that. Now, there can be things that can hold you back from it, maybe, and maybe have conditions or situations that can delay that. But it is something we are called to do. So, it is important. It doesn't mean, like, you're 100% going to hell if you don't do it, but...
Well, I haven't gotten baptized yet.
Yeah, we've been waiting to find a place to go to. We're working on it, though.
I mean, I would say, like, outside of a few exceptions, I just wouldn't use, like, the thief on the cross because his life was pretty much, like, forfeit. He just couldn't. So I would say for those of us who are able to, without there being, like, extreme circumstances holding you back, we're called to do it. And because I'm Eastern Orthodox, I hold a bit different view, to baptism. It's for the redemption of sins. So, you should go get baptized, of course, if you're able to. So, obviously not saying that to like bring you down, Maria, or anything. Just find a church.
If there was someone with like autoimmune disease, like maybe don't dip them in a river. Maybe a little bit risky.
Well, you didn't have to be a river. That's the thing.
Even then, it's hard to like sterilize water, no? Like
depends.
Completely. I don't know. Calvinist's eye twitch.
No, it would need to be done in a very particular kind of way, I suppose, in that situation. A pool, yeah, a pool. It can be done in a pool. Then, like, whatever body of water is available to you that you can use, and whatever you need to get done to make it work, it needs to be done.
Baptize me at the Great Wolf Lodge Water Park.
Technically speaking, perhaps if you had the right person there, for sure. But that's something I wouldn't joke about too much, my love. Please desist.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No.
Both churches I've been to that I've seen do baptisms were just done in a tub of water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all watch Dragon Ball? Yeah. I watched a bit of it. John baptized in the Jordan. That water was filthy.
That's a good question. I'm actually not sure. Does the Bible mention the apostles
Thank you for the
getting
bits.
baptized? I mean, I'm sure they did, or else they wouldn't.
I mean, it was still Jewish custom back then. So if they were, following the customs, they certainly did.
Never says Matthew got baptized. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it could be. It can certainly be an implied thing too, though. I mean, they were all following Jewish tradition and custom for the most part. I mean, at some point they probably would have gotten baptized according to that, even if it was when they were younger or not something they concluded in the story.
It wasn't explicitly stated.
But it would fit. It was the custom of the time.
I'm not saying, scripture is definitely extremely important, but things like that you might not find in scripture. You might find it in extra biblical. Looking at church history, you probably find it, but I have no doubt that they got baptized. Especially if they're following Christ that closely. I don't think that he wouldn't want them to get baptized at that time. So
right, even Jesus himself got baptized. That's true. If he did it, I think we all best follow suit as best we can. Try to figure out a way to get it done. I think Matthias had a good thing to say on the baptism. No, baptism is an ordinary requirement, but you're not beholden to things outside your control.
Yeah. I should probably get baptized soon.
Yeah, we need to do that.
I don't know how to arrange such a thing.
I mean,
how do you go about doing that?
We need to get in contact with the church nearby that we won't have been to. Go to that one and get in contact with them.
I mean, last time I saw them do something like that, they had like the tub at like the front of the stage, and they had like a bunch of stage lights on it as well. Like it was kind of like a show. I don't know if I vibe with that. Like making it into like a part of the church show, I guess.